Welcome to another episode of the Less is More Sports podcast. As you can probably tell by my name, I'm not very happy. A week ago, a week tomorrow, was one of the best days in sports I've had in a long time. The Colts won, the Cardinals were heading to the playoffs, and the Miami Heat were heading to the NBA Finals. Fast forward less than a week. October 2nd is one of the worst days in sports I've had in a while, and I'm not happy. The Miami Heat fall down 0-2 in the NBA Finals to the Los Angeles Lakers. After winning Game 1, the Cardinals lose their next two games to be eliminated from the MLB Postseason. And to top it off, my high school alma mater got absolutely destroyed by Trinity last night, 48-0. So you know what? I'm just not in a good mood right now. So I'm going to let Spencer and Klucas take over. The floor is yours, boys. I will be here if you need me.
You done throwing your fit? Need a nap?
No. Yes, I might need a nap, but I am not done throwing a fit. And to make matters worse, Texas's defense is continuing to play like shit, so probably not going to be happy.
Oh, well, good. Let's just add it on to the list of things I told you so. We could start with, I said the Cardinals were going to lose.
Well, okay, hold on. Pause. Yes, you did say the Cardinals were going to lose.
Yes, I know. The Indians lost. Yes, I know. I know.
Oh, so you want to talk about?
I'm gonna get into my rant about my team in a second. This is about you right now. You made this about you, so this is about you right now.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, told you so on the Cardinals. As you could tell by my background for the second consecutive week, told you so about the Lakers, which, you know, you're a smart man. I'm pretty sure you had a good general idea of what was going to happen. And, well, I've always been a Trinity guy over St. X, so.
I don't know why you have no connection to either team.
Oh, sorry. So make that four things. I told you, what was it, yesterday or the day before? Quincy Patterson has Herman's number. This is going to be a game.
Oh, I didn't doubt that.
So, Spencer, do you want to tack on?
What I doubted is that you thought I wasn't going to be focused. I'm plenty focused.
No, man, I share with Les's sentiments for different reasons. So, Titans' entire organization seems to have COVID. Cam's got COVID. We've had waves of COVID coming. The president's got COVID. Let's see. Our basketball team has to practice outside on a football field and in a parking lot. What else? Oh, I actually thought the NBA Finals was going to be entertaining. Like, I thought it could go 6 games, but, you know, Jimmy Butler sprains his ankle twice. Bam was out last night. Dragic is out for the series. Really takes out of the excitement. I thought, you know, it could go 6 or 7, you know, with the Lakers winning, of course, but, like, there will be some doubt. There's, like, no doubt right now that it's going to be a sweep. It might be the lowest rated finals of all time before it's all said and done with. Yeah, so.
You say there's absolutely no doubt that it's going to be a sweep?
If it continues the way it's going, yes.
Well, yeah.
Dragic is out. Bam is out.
Bam's
Jimmy Butler is not 100%.
Bam's supposed to play Game 3.
Okay, but that still doesn't make up for not 100% Jimmy Butler and Dragic being out, your second best player. So
Jimmy's playing well, even for not being 100%.
Listen, we all knew Jimmy was going to play well. He could roll his ankle and have a high ankle sprain and still go out and play well. That's just who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot play in the NBA Finals at a high level against a good team on sprained ankles. So, especially if you sprain it twice in one night.
Lucas, is there anything you want to add? Because I could go on a complete rant about what I've seen the first 2 games.
I'm going to let you go on your rant before I go on my rant about my teams.
Starting with the Heat. Game 1 started out pretty optimistic for me. They jumped out to a 13-point lead. Then the Laker bench comes alive. Something I was a little bit surprised by. I thought the Heat have a pretty good bench, but we were outscored 20-10. The Lakers
Danny Green. Sorry, Danny Green.
is a starter, not a bench player, but nice try. Anyways.
Doesn't matter. Everybody wrote him off.
No, I didn't. I said he comes alive in the finals. So don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Now let me finish, sir. Anyways, not only does the bench spark the offensive run, they get hot from the three-point line, which this Laker team is not a great three-point shooting team. So another surprise there. They hit 11 threes in the first half on 65% shooting. 65. Absolutely insane. So they build a 17-point lead by halftime. The second half, the Heat go back into their zone and start to cheat up on the three-point shooters. Then the Lakers do what they do best, and put the ball inside. LeBron worked the ball with LeBron and Anthony Davis, get racking up points in the paint. To make matters worse, as Spencer said, Jimmy sprains his ankle heading into halftime. Goran has a plantar tear heading into halftime, so he doesn't return. And then in the second half, bam, you see him grabbing his wrist. You don't really know what's going on, but it turns out it's a neck injury, and now he's doubtful for Game 2. Fast forward to Game 2. Goran's obviously out. Bam is now listed as out. No Bam. The Lakers abused Miami, and no matter what defensive set they ran, man-to-man, zone, it didn't matter. The Lakers did what they want. They wanted to get the ball in the paint. They scored 56 points in the paint. They wanted to shoot threes. They shot 47 of them, which is a finals record. I mean, don't be wrong. Offensively, the Heat played well. Shot 51% from the field, 41% from three. Jimmy Butler had another 25. Kelly Olynyk had a nice 24 off the bench. But they could not get stops. Now to my Cardinals. Game 1 was happy. Looked good. Game 2, I went to bed. I had to get up early for work. We were leading 6-2. I'm thinking, you know what? We're starting to go to our nice relief, our nice bullpen. Gomber and Halsey are pitching well, backing up Adam Wainwright. I'm thinking, we're undefeated when we score 5 runs on this, 5 runs throughout the entire regular season and to this point in the playoffs. I think we'll be good. Oh, boy, was I wrong. I was just wrong. I wake up and it's 11-9 San Diego, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? You look, as a baseball player, I absolutely love Fernando Tatis, but not this series. The dude's amazing. But gosh, that 2 home run performance in Game 2, along with Will Myers, made me sick. So I'm thinking, okay, a little bit demoralizing there, but we still have our ace pitcher, Jack Flaherty, pitching Game 3. Anything is possible. Well, shades of our problems last season return. Our problem last season was never the pitching. It was leaving runners on base. And we left 9 of them on base and scored 0. And to make matters worse, the guy who struck us out 3 consecutive batters to end our season, Klucas, you want to tell me which team he used to play for?
Believe the Cardinals.
He did. We get eliminated on 3 consecutive strikeouts by a former Cardinal. Can you tell I'm not happy, guys? That ends my rant. Klucas, the rant
Miami's 3-0. So, does that make you happy?
there you go. Congratulations.
What did he say?
The Miami's 3-0. The Canes are 3-0.
Hey, at least you got going for you. All right, so let's start on my MLB rant. Kind of texted one of my buddies this just out of the blue, and he kind of took it the wrong way in terms of I was talking about myself personally when I said it. My text to him was, I'm tired of being good but not good enough. And what I meant by that was every year, the Cleveland Indians are a very good postseason or a very good team to get to the postseason. They're pretty much a lock to either win the division or a wild card spot from pretty much every year since Francona got there. But whether it be started in 2016 when we made the World Series and lost to the Cubs, or 2017 where
you made the World Series and got jinxed by LeBron.
I guess you want to put that on LeBron now.
Okay. Don't know what
Just
LeBron
did.
has to do with the baseball, but
Because
Sure.
he had that 3-1 party on the eve of your 3-1 lead over the Indians. Over the Cubs.
okay, I'm not putting that on LeBron,
Reverse
but sure.
karma, and it works, dude. Just in some alternate reality.
Hold on, Spencer. I thought you didn't believe in jinxes.
Well, it was around Halloween, so.
What does that have to do with my question at all?
Anything can happen.
Anyways,
Hey, Klucas, please continue.
so like I said, go back to 2016 where we made the World Series, lost to the Cubs. Granted, yes, we blew a 3-1 lead. And also, I still strongly believe that in that Game 7, had there not been a rain delay going into extra innings, that World Series would be in Cleveland and not in Chicago. But I'm not a man to make a lot of excuses. So then you go to 2017 where we lost to the Astros. Then to 2018 where we lost to who we lost to this year, the Yankees. And then last year where we lost to the Astros. Again, granted, I could care less about the Astros. Come to find out they were cheating. We're probably cheating against us too. But, I'm tired of being good and not good enough. And the problem everybody knows in Cleveland, it's almost just like you said, Les. Except my guys can't even get on base. Pitching is never the problem in Cleveland. Every year we end up with a talented pitcher that enters the rotation and has ace potential. And we end up trading him. But because I trust my farm system and my pitching and how they develop pitchers, I don't, I let it go. I'm like, you know what? We'll just have another one. We can't get on base. We can't get a base hit. Frankie Lindor and Jose Ramirez are the only two that can get on base. And then when we have the hottest hitter in the postseason so far with 5 straight hits and Josh Naylor, what do? We pinch hit for him. I get it. It was for strategy, per se. But did it work for the short term? Yeah. Did it long term? No, because who was the last out of the game? Jordan Luplow, who pinched hit for Naylor. I'm tired of all of my teams, from the Colts to the Cavs to the Indians, having so much money in cap and not doing a damn thing with it. The Indians are good enough team and have enough cap space because of how they trade players before contracts come up, before they pay them big. We could afford to sign a consistent good hitter, maybe 2 of them. And for some reason, my team just refuses. I thought maybe they were making a step in the right direction with Edwin Encarnacion a couple years ago. And it was. But what was the price to pay for that? We gave up Carlos Santana, who was our most consistent hitter that year outside of Francisco Lindor. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being not good enough. I've always been one of them ones where either I don't want to be in the middle. I either want to be contending or rebuilding at this point, because being in the middle sucks, because you're not good enough to win a championship. and you're not bad enough to get a top pick, to get maybe one of those top 10 picks, to get a player that can maybe change some things. I'm tired of not being good enough. That's my rant.
What really stands out to me about the Indians, it's not really not the Indians. It's really how much pop that the Yankees lineup has. See, I was talking to my replacement at the Sentinel News, Derek Brightwell, this week, and he brought up a great point. He said he doesn't want to shade Shane Bieber and Carlos Carrasco because they're, great pitchers. Both are sub-3 ERAs. But they also pitched against one of the weakest divisions in baseball and had one of the easiest schedules as well. I mean, obviously the White Sox had a great, year this year.
I was going to say 3 teams made it out the division.
Mm-hmm. 4 made it out the Central. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. 3 made it out our Central. So.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. But anyways, they had one of the easier, schedules in the league. According to metric ratings and all that fun stuff. Good pass. But Brennan Eagles touchdown. We're good. Anyways, I'm focused, Lucas. But I think it's more of a staple of how good that Yankees lineup is. I mean, when you have Stanton, Judge, Ursula with the grand slam in Game 2, just Gary Sanchez, guys that can just put some serious wood on the ball. I mean, they're going to be a tough out for anybody. Not to mention Garrett Cole comes out Game 1 and pitches a complete masterpiece. Oh, you want to say something?
To that Yankee point, it's because, and it's their history, they've never been. They're not scared to spend money. Hitters. And that is my point with the Indians. Spend money on hitters. That's literally all I'm asking. I'm not asking for you to go out and get Aaron Judge. I'm not asking you to go out and get Giancarlo Stanton. But just get me a consistent hitter that's going to hit consistently and get on base. That's all I ask.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Like you said, I mean, I'm a Colts fan as well. So, I mean, I obviously know the feeling. I mean, this offseason was one of the better offseasons we've had in a long time as far as through the draft or signing Xavier Rose and DeForest Buckner. But, no, I feel your pain, man. I'm with you.
I'm just tired of having money and then it just doesn't get spent. That's what – I'm not saying spend all of it, but don't be afraid to spend the money to get somebody that can maybe change the direction of your franchise.
Spencer, you've been awful quiet.
Oh. We're talking about the Indians, so.
We're talking about a team from Ohio, so he doesn't care.
Yep. I barely care about the Reds.
Isn't that your baseball team too?
Yep.
Did they or did they not fail to score a run in their 2 postseason games?
Yep.
And I felt so sorry for
They
Trevor.
had 11 hits. They had 5 more hits than the Braves in Game 1 and lost in 13 innings on it.
And Trevor Bauer was absolutely dealing in the first 7 and 2.
Oh, it was just absolutely.
I mean, Trevor Bauer is a serious NL Cy Young candidate. He did his part. But for the Reds to not score the entire game, the game to be ended in the 13th off of Freddie Freeman walk-off home run is just demoralizing. Trevor Bauer has been very vocal throughout this whole process, whether it's knocking the MLB PA or whatever for how they're handling the COVID situation. He's been a very vocal guy. And I'd be surprised if he doesn't become vocal about this postseason experience.
Just want to point out former Indian.
For the 16 team.
Y'all are both
hearing a lot of support for 16 teams. So people like it.
I'm a fan. It's pretty entertaining.
As long as they keep the first round 3-game series.
Well, I think if you're going to have a 16-team playoff, I think that's how you would have to do it. next round with 5 games, and then the NLCS back to 7. So
I'm just very upset with
Cam, they've moved the Patriots Chiefs game, of course, to Monday or Tuesday.
I mean, that beats the alternative of not having a game at all this week, like the Titans.
Yeah, I don't like having an early bye like this, but it is what it is. It's probably going to happen to a lot more teams before it's all said and done with.
Probably. I mean, and then they were talking to Mike Tomlin this week about, how do you feel about the potential of playing 13 straight weeks? And I think he answered it perfectly. He just says, we don't care.
Yeah, that's Tomlin for you. I almost could have predicted what he was going to say.
I mean, I feel like it was a very similar answer to what Belichick would have given too.
Yeah. I know that Roethlisberger wasn't happy about the situation because from his end, he said that they kind of prepped Pittsburgh to be without their team facilities for, a couple days back in August and July. And I don't know. I guess Roethlisberger wasn't too happy with the game being moved and having to play 13 straight games. So,
well, when you're an old quarterback, of course you don't like the idea of playing 13 straight.
yeah.
So
I just hope it's too early for this crap to start. It's just too early.
Is there ever really a good time for it to start?
I don't know. No, there's not. But I mean, you were starting to get stuff back,
And now
you had a good month. September was better, but I guess it's back to watching wrestling.
It's the shock value of who's getting COVID. It's not really necessarily how many people and like the numbers anymore. Now it's the shock value of who's getting COVID. Now, like you said when we started the podcast, now President Trump has COVID.
Right.
Before we started the podcast today, Cam Newton has COVID. I think 3 more players from the Titans have COVID now. So, I mean, sometimes that shock value of these notable names that are getting COVID do as much damage than an actual spike as far as how the media covers it. Because now that's going to these notable names will think twice.
It will dominate the headline coverage, and it's hard for me to have an opinion about it. It really is, just because I work at FedEx and nothing stopped for us. So
I'll say
we all work at FedEx, bud.
Yeah, we all work at FedEx. I mean,
I said nothing stopped for us.
Yeah, well, nothing stopped for us, and it just increased for me.
It's increased for us too. I mean,
oh yeah,
you're not alone on that either.
So, I mean, you can wear a mask, but I rub my eyes all day, and you can't stop that. So
I literally just rub my eyes right now. So I mean,
I know, and it's just.
Spencer, you brought up we still have wrestling. I think it's amazing that we get more COVID positive tests from football so far than we do from guys that are actually physically touching themselves for what they have to do and everything.
Well, football.
Yeah, they have to have contact tracing, and they have to have that kind of stuff going on to where they don't have the opportunity to go out as much. That's what I have to assume with wrestling. They had to sign certain contracts. So it's really hard. Like, if you told me that the NBA players were going to agree to another bubble, I don't think they would do it. I think a lot of these guys, they've got one goal in mind: win this NBA championship, get out. But to tell me that you're going to have a bubble for, realistically, it wouldn't even be an 82-game season. It would probably be more like a 55-game season. I don't see how you can do that to these players. I think there would be a lot of revolt. with that idea. So
Well, I think from what I've heard, I mean, after this bubble, they're not going back to a bubble. They're just going to go to kind of like what the NFL and MLB did. Just everybody, travels, plays on their home court. It's just whatever kind of attendance policy you want to set on it.
well, I mean, and even that right now seems to be. I think that goes if things continue to go the way they're going, and the flu season starts, here in winter. Winter's right around the corner. I don't see how you can send these guys to different cities without controlling them in some way. I think they should have 4 or 5 cities, and they travel in between those cities. They charter planes, that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, the NBA is going to have to get some of their money back somehow. These professional franchises are going to have to get their money back somehow. You're not getting ticket sales. Viewership has dropped. People are depressed about 2020. This is not sustainable for some of the experts are talking until 2022 through 2021. So that's a scary thought.
Yeah. I don't know if I can go another year of this.
No.
Oh,
I don't think any of us can. I mean, I think I'm seeing we're watching just how crazy everything is going on around us. I don't think any of us can go another year of this. There's so much uncertainty and just everything else. I mean, I really don't know.
I think the election will be even crazier than anybody can imagine. So.
And then you know what? I think the media is just loving every second of it.
Absolutely. The clicks, the viewership, the headlines. I mean, I've talked to a couple of Postal Service guys and read reports about the Postal Service industry. And, of course, you had the huge problem in the primary with mail-in voting. And this country is
For lack of a better word, but obviously not a politically dominated podcast. So we're going to get back on Klucas. I believe we got a lot of football to talk about this week still, even with the postpone of a several set of games this week. Are we starting with college or NFL, Klucas?
My notes are on college, so let's start college.
All right.
So just a couple of the games that we individually picked out. A&M at Alabama today. Honestly, Alabama's favored by 17.5. But I don't know. I could see this really going either way because Kellen Mond is that kind of quarterback that Nick Saban sometimes struggles to play against.
I was also I'm glad you said something because, I was looking at some of the numbers from Alabama against Missouri last weekend. They gave up over 200 yards passing the ball, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when Missouri starting quarterback Shane Robinson gets hurt, and prior to getting hurt, he went 19 to 25 passing the ball, it tells me there's still some question marks in that Bama secondary. Now you play a quarterback like Kellen Mond that's seasoned, has a very good reputation within the SEC of being one of the top passers. I think it's still going to be a Bama win, but it's going to be a lot closer than 17 points. I think it could potentially be a 35-30 Bama win.
Spencer,
Bama,
what you
right?
got? Yep.
Is that Bama? Of course, the crowd won't be much of a factor. To be honest, man, I lost big on the SEC last week. Probably should have never bet it. The LSU game hurt me. Thank you, Mike Leach. I really don't know. I guess it would. I guess I think it would be closer. the spread has been wrong on SEC games so far. So you only have such a small sample size. Yeah, I hope it's a good game. I'd like to watch a good game.
The other thing is, I think A&M's got a good enough defense to where they can try to neutralize the weapons for Alabama. And I think if you really we talked about this where we said me and you both believe Bryce Young should be the starting quarterback at Alabama. And I think if you're able to neutralize the weapons and make Mac Jones, actually have to throw, like not just throw the short routes to his weapons and let them do the work. I think you could really kind of expose Jones. But to that, you still have the run game, and Najee Harris is the X factor in this game for me.
Question. Did you watch last weekend?
I watched bits and pieces. I watched highlights mostly.
Say, Mac Jones looks pretty good throwing the ball last weekend downfield. I will say the key, what I do want to touch on your point, though, is that A&M does have some weapons, some defensive weapons to neutralize these Alabama playmakers. But where I want to at least improve, I guess, or add more detail to that, I think it's from the edge rushing. They have to get to Mac Jones and make him throw it sooner than what he's comfortable with. So that's what I would add to that. Because, I mean, if he has time to get it to Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, I think those are the two receivers. They're just going to eat that Aggie secondary alive. I mean, Waddle especially. He's with Jamar Chase opting out for the 2020 season. I think Waddle's the best receiver in college football.
Till a certain team plays on October 24th, but that's fine.
Oh, we're gonna hear all about Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, yes, you are. Don't you worry, pal.
I'm sorry.
Garrett Wilson is up next. Don't you worry.
Jalen Waddle's here now.
And Julian Fleming is also on his way. Anyways, the next game we were going to talk about is on right now. You're currently watching it, TCU at Texas. Texas was favored going in 11.5. Not gonna lie, I don't have the game on like you do. So why don't you tell me how this is going, Wes?
Penalties have plagued the Texas offense early on. They had 7 penalties in the first quarter, wiped away several big plays. Apparently, as sloppy as the Texas Longhorns and the officiating has been, apparently those calling the game are just as sloppy. On every box score or stat sheet you have, it says that Bijan Robinson returned a big kickoff early only for it to be called back. However, watching Texas's first 2 games, Bijan Robinson is not on our kickoff coverage team. That is Deshaun Jameson. But yet, for whatever reason, this week, Bijan is listed as a returner and not Deshaun. So it's just sloppiness, complete sloppiness across the board. Our defense looks sloppy. We got to stop on the last Horned Frog possession. So I'm thinking, okay, this is our chance to go take the lead. But then now we're stopped. And so we just punted the ball away. And what was even more frustrating about it is Ellinger was going deep at Brennan Ingles. While the pass is still in the air, Ingles gets bumped by the DB, throws him off his course. No flag. These refs have not been shy about throwing the flag all day long, but yet when you make certain plays like that, they're sure hesitant. It almost feels like a non-home field advantage with how this game's being called. It's kind of making me mad. It's another reason why Les isn't happy.
Nothing makes Spencer happier than knowing Les isn't happy. So
I just feel the love. I can feel the love coming in from the screen.
All righty. Well, moving on. Spencer, Texas TCU. Before it's officially over. Who do you have?
Man, I got to go with Texas, but Texas nearly burned me last week. So obviously they can't play defense. Doesn't seem like anybody in the Big 12 can play defense. It was a miracle that they even came back last week. Still got to go with Texas, though.
And what's real disappointing about it is that Texas has so much talent on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, several guys, whether it's Keandre Coburn, DeQuan Graham, Caden Stearns, Joseph Asai. I could all see these guys playing on Sundays eventually. But for whatever reason, they just too many blown coverages, too many boneheaded penalties, and they just can't get stops. It was like that in the regular season last year. However, you could always make the excuse that it was the injuries that piled up. There's not that excuse this year. This year they're just playing bad. It's blown coverages. I don't know if it's bad play calling. I don't know if it's a mental thing that they just can't get over. But I just look at the talent that this Longhorn team has on that side of the ball, and it makes no sense. It just doesn't.
Maybe it's just whatever's in the air down there in Big 12 country just turns no defense at all. It's whatever's in the air.
Seriously.
It's
what is
in
the air down there?
They might as well just hang up the pads and start playing 7-on-7s.
That is what Big 12 football is.
I'm aware. I'm just saying, get rid of the pads, make it official. Just become a 7-on-7 conference.
All righty. So let's move on to a conference that's not playing 7-on-7 and is all about their defense. The SEC, Auburn is playing Georgia at Georgia today.
Spencer, I just wanted to say that leave it to the SEC fan to just continue to boast about the SEC. That's just so stereotypical of anybody. Even though one of his team is a bottom dweller in the conference, he's one of those fans.
Oh, whoa, chill with the bottom.
Was that your corner? Was that your corner that got bitch slapped last week?
Chill with the bottom dweller, though.
What has Kentucky done within the last 20 years in the SEC?
Chill. We are on the rise. We're coming. Not saying that we're coming up there with the Georgias and Floridas, but we are coming. We're right. We're there. We're right there.
Who's better, Tennessee or Kentucky?
Kentucky. You will never, ever hear me say Tennessee is better than Kentucky. Ever. Anyways, since we're not even talking about Kentucky right now, Auburn and Georgia.
I thought we were talking about the SEC.
Yeah, I was saying. Yeah, we were talking about the SEC.
Yeah, we were, but we were talking about a specific game. So Auburn and Georgia. Georgia's favored by 6.5 points at home.
Got Georgia.
Okay, Spencer's keeping it short and sweet. Les?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with Auburn. I was watching the Georgia game against Arkansas last week. Other than a 22-point third quarter, the Dogs did not impress me one bit. Who else? Didn't catch it. Anyways, but obviously we had the quarterback controversy last week, whether it was Dylan, what was that Swain kid or the other one that came in. And Klucas,
I'm sorry. Who is Swain?
Or what was it? What's his name?
Dwan Mathis.
Oh, Mathis. I thought there was a kid named Swain as well. I don't know.
Then Stetson Bennett came in.
Okay, maybe. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I just had my gears. Anyways, regardless, now JT Daniels is cleared to play from the knee injury, which you owe him another apology because you were over here.
I don't owe anybody nothing until he steps on the football field and plays.
Well, anyways, he is eligible for this week. And I'm not overly impressed with Georgia. Auburn, I think, moved the ball well against a good Kentucky defense. As much joking as I was doing earlier about the bottom dweller comment, they do have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. I like the way they were able to consistently move the ball. And I like Bo Nix in this matchup. I think Bo Nix has proven that he plays well in big situations. With this being a high-profile game, I like to favor Bo Nix in this matchup.
I'm gonna go with Georgia. This is gonna be a defensive game. And I think what it's going to come down to and what I'm interested to see is, does Kirby Smart stick with Stetson Bennett all game, or do we see JT Daniels check in today? I think early on you'll see Stetson get the nod, obviously, and if they all get off to a slow start like they did last week, I think it won't be long until then they'll put JT Daniels in. I think Georgia's got a lot of – we've talked about this. Georgia's got a lot of offensive weapons. They've got good receivers. They've got a good running back. The one thing they've just been missing is that quarterback. And if JT Daniels can come in and be that quarterback that he was coming out of high school, going into USC originally, then I think Georgia's got a very good chance to beat Auburn today. But they can't – this isn't – as much as I hate to say it, this isn't Kentucky. You can't afford to get off to a slow start against Auburn. So, they've got to get it going. If they're going to go JT Daniels, they got to go Daniels quick. So I think it's going to be like a 24-20 Georgia type game for me. That's what I'm feeling.
But I see that. I feel like that also could favor Auburn as well, because Auburn was very used to getting in those type caliber games last year, and Auburn's got a pretty good defense on the as well.
That's why I said it's going to be a defensive game.
Fair enough. I'm just not going to say that it favors Georgia specifically. But, speaking of defense, I think – oh, my gosh. So many arm tackles that are just being broken right now in this Texas TCU game. So, geez. They need to take some notes from the SEC play. So, continue.
So, let's stick with the SEC, and we will talk about Kentucky now. Kentucky and Ole Miss. At Kentucky, Kentucky's favored by 6 points going into this game. With this game, I'm more interested to see is, does Stoops pull the trigger and put Gatewood in at some point today? For those of you that don't know, what I said last week when I said the turning point for Kentucky would be Joey Gatewood becoming eligible, and as of this week, he became eligible. Thank you, Auburn, finally.
How did Auburn oh, got you. Sorry.
Yeah, Joey okay, so we'll backtrack a little more. Joey Gatewood was cleared by the NCAA a couple months ago. He was not cleared by the SEC. The only SEC team that would not clear him was Auburn. Who did Kentucky play last week? Auburn.
Kind of ironic they didn't clear him until after the game.
Yeah, they didn't. It's a smart move. I'm not sitting here knocking them for doing it, but
it's smart and shady at the same time.
Yes. So
super shady.
So Gatewood's clear. How much of them do we see? That'll be something that we find out at game time, obviously. I like Kentucky slightly in this matchup. I'm going 31-27 Cats.
I'm not one to disagree. I think Kentucky's better on the defensive side of the ball than Ole Miss, and I think that's the difference. So, Spencer just here.
Miami's off this week. Tennessee's off this week. It's tough. Just tough.
Okay, well, I'm more so asking your opinion on the Kentucky Ole Miss game here.
Oh, I don't have much of one. Sorry, guys.
He doesn't care.
Ole Miss, they got beat by 2 touchdowns last week. 51-35.
Yeah.
Yep. Who they play?
Florida.
Yeah, it's a very winnable game for Kentucky. Obviously, they've been better under Mark Stoops the last couple of years. It seems to me that they've got some of a foundation underneath them. This is a very winnable game for them. So,
yeah, I've been saying all Kentucky really needed through the Stoops era is to get the quarterback position right. We've seen when they get consistent quarterback play, they are pretty good. We saw that, with Steven Johnson when they went to Louisville and beat them. Even Terry Wilson, his first year, the 10-win season, when they get consistent quarterback play, Kentucky can play. The defense has never really been the issue. Let's backtrack. It has been, but only because they've been having to been on the field for so long. The defense hasn't really been the issue. It's been more so, like I said, the quarterback play. And if we figure out if Terry's the guy or if we're going to go with Gatewood, that would be just lovely to figure out maybe today if we can. So let's go back to 7-on-7 football. Last college football game for today that we're going to do. Oklahoma at Iowa State.
I think both teams are coming off embarrassing losses, or at least, Iowa State suffered their embarrassing loss in the opening weekend of college football against the Ragin' Cajuns. Shout out to them. And that was while we had our guest Sam Murphy on the show. Obviously, Oklahoma's coming off the embarrassing loss last weekend in Kansas State. I think both Oklahoma and Iowa State. Sorry, I just got done saying Kansas State. Got it either way. Regardless, I think both are going to be out to prove something this week. However, I think Oklahoma's got too much talent. I think they walk away with it, but it's going to be a shootout. I think Spencer Rattler has a bounce-back game after throwing the 3 interceptions last week. So here we go. And cue Klucas talking about how great Spencer Rattler is going to be in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'm letting Spencer go first.
I mean, he's good. He's just another product of the system. He's talented, of course, ultra talented, and he benefits from having a great coach that can coach up quarterbacks. So
Spencer just looks so uninterested today.
Dude.
Sorry.
So you got Oklahoma or Iowa State?
You can almost say that Matt isn't happy as well.
We have 2 unhappy people, and Lucas, I don't really know how he feels about anything half the time.
Oh, I'm fine. So Oklahoma or
He's
Iowa
stoked.
State, Spencer?
AD's MVP.
Okay, let's just chill out.
So anyway, Spencer.
Great finals.
Spencer.
Again,
Oklahoma or Iowa State?
Oh, Oklahoma. Easy.
Easy. Ooh, I like it. That's like the most confident thing you said all day. Easy. Oklahoma.
Easy.
He's over here. Boom him sooner. Boom. Wait, I said it wrong for a reason because hook 'em horns for life. But
I can't believe you actually said it.
Why are you my co-host with that bullshit? Get that off. Stop it. Why? Why am I friends with you guys? Stop it. You all are so disrespectful. You know what? I'm deleting.
You know what?
Off
I could pull up film from the 91 Cotton Bowl if you want.
No, I'd rather you not do that. That's cool. Don't.
Jacob, you should watch highlights of that game.
Anyways.
Let's not do that.
My pick, Oklahoma and Iowa State. Yes, is Spencer Rattler very, very good? Yes. Am I going to go on a rant about how good Spencer Rattler is? I am not.
Well, that's a first.
Because I got Iowa State coming away with the win today. I was feeling a hot take today, and I felt like this was my best chance at a hot take for today. And I'm going Iowa State.
And Sam Ellinger just threw an interception.
Oh, brutal.
So Spencer Rattler's very good. I don't think he's going to have a bad game, but like you said, Les, this is going to be a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma's favored by a touchdown. I'm going Iowa State 40-37. And that's my bold prediction for today.
Well, it is a shootout. That's a really high scoring game. That's a 77-point total right there.
I think Brock Purdy has a bounce back this week against Oklahoma.
I don't know. I mean, he probably does. I mean, he probably has a bounce back week. I just don't think they have enough firepower to compete with Oklahoma.
So, all right. So you want to move on to the NFL now?
Yes, we might as well.
Oh, one sec.
Oh, Spencer has.
Any early
Oh, now-
talk about Miami and Clemson next week?
Oh, you wanna preview that?
Yes, Spencer. Preview.
Small taste.
Well, go ahead, Spencer. You haven't been so lively today, so we'll let you have the floor for this one.
Clemson has the depth. They've always had the depth. Miami is a little older, a little bit more experienced, you could say, but Clemson's definitely been in much bigger games. They have the better recruits. Feeling like a 10-point game here. Clemson.
Okay.
Okay, I was about to say, who are we in favor of
Feeling
here?
like a 10-point game. I don't know. Clemson gets up for these types of games. It would have been nice if it was like a 3:30 game on a Saturday afternoon. But can't get
Is it
that
at
one.
Clemson or at Miami?
It's at Clemson.
Are they still going to come down the hill?
Probably.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, they got fans, so.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. There's another thing you missed. Miami doesn't have my child. My child is going to light that defense up. I think it's going to be a 20-point game, minimum.
Oh.
Minimum.
Is that your bold prediction for today?
Bold. I don't think it's very bold. Like Spencer says, Clemson gets up for these guys, for these type of games. Clemson's got the recruits. They have the depth. On defense, they can just continue to throw bodies at that Miami offensive line and pressure on De'Aaron King, make him make questionable decisions.
Are you giving Miami 20 points?
You mean do they
I
score
knew it was
20
coming.
points?
Are you giving them 20 points?
No.
No. Are you giving Miami 20 points?
No. I just said no.
You just said that Clemson was going to win by 20.
Okay, are you talking about Miami score? Okay, are you talking about from a gambling perspective, or I thought you were talking about are they going to score 20?
Am I ever talking from another perspective right now? Yes.
You
Are you
talking
giving
about
Miami? Are you giving Miami?
He's saying, are you
giving Miami a handicap of 20 points?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll take that bet.
Okay.
I knew it was coming. I see it in Spencer's eye.
20 on 20.
As soon as you seen 20,
So
as
you
soon
want
as you
to
said
also-
20.
$20, 20 points.
Can we virtual shake on this?
I'm a witness.
Klucas is a witness.
If they win by 20, it's a push.
That's fine. That's fair.
So now that we gave Spencer's Miami Clemson preview, let's move on to the NFL. Last kind of
Sad
like we
state
did,
of affairs.
kind of like we did last week. We can review last week's NFL games if you'd like.
Tough games. Want to talk about the Cardinals Lions?
I mean, the game I care
Absolutely
obviously.
brutal.
The one game I care about each weekend is the Colts, how they played. Their defense looked great. Shout out
Albeit
to
against the Jets.
for winning Defensive Player of the Week with his 2 interceptions, with one of them returning for a touchdown. So shout out to him. But
Goskowski, baby. He's back in
hold
form.
on to all the stands that watch our show that want to say that Lamar is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I want to talk about
Another
that.
example of why he's not. Wait, what, Klucas?
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
All right.
Can I get the floor for a second?
You have the floor. It is all yours.
What I watched last Monday. You know what? Actually, let's go back to last Wednesday when I do my original predictions. I gave, for probably the first time in my life, I gave the benefit of the doubt to Lamar Jackson. I picked the Ravens to win this game. I thought Lamar was going to have a very good game, and he was finally going to open things up with Patrick Mahomes and getting his first win against Patrick Mahomes. And let me tell you, after that, excuse my language, after that shit I watched on Monday, when it comes to big games like that, never again will I pick the Baltimore Ravens to win. I thought it's 1 week. Lamar can't burn me like that. And boy, he did. He burned me pretty bad because let me just tell you, the final score of that game did not tell how the game actually went. And I was just not a happy camper. Yeah, so that's my little rant. I will never pick Lamar Jackson in a big game like that again. And this is exactly why me and Les say the things that we do.
He reminds me more and more of Peyton Manning every day.
Well, damn, I don't remember Peyton Manning being that athletic, but
That's true. Well, I'd say Lamar is more athletic than Peyton.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption to make. But
hey, he's only slightly more athletic, okay?
Right. I mean, I feel like Peyton has a big forehead. Lamar's got like the big neck. So I mean, maybe there is some kind of like, maybe there is some kind of connection there. But obviously, Peyton struggled with a lot of big games early on in his career as well. Peyton was able to turn it around. So yet to be seen on Lamar.
I think Lamar has the character to turn it around. So
I keep hearing this, but obviously he's got to do it before we can say anything. So
it's true, but I mean he's improved in a lot of other areas. So there's no reason to think that he couldn't improve in this area. So,
but still, the one area that he has yet to improve on is a point that you've made time and time again. It's throwing to the outside. He still has yet to improve that, and that was exploited big time against the Chiefs. Whereas
when you get down and play from behind, this is kind of the reason why SEC teams don't like being down. They're put into a situation that they're not really used to, where they can really dominate you up front with their defensive line and get to the quarterback who's passing. So, yeah, I mean, Kansas City got up way early at first, and they forced everything to the outside. So, which I really don't understand. I mean, it was a 27-20 game going into the fourth quarter. So,
look like you're wanting to say something, Klucas.
He's eating.
I just can't believe that I got burnt like that. I went against
don't
my
talk
own
food
morals.
in your mouth. It's rude.
It is rude.
I don't have food in my mouth. Anyways,
it's gum.
I went against my own morals, and never again will I go against my own morals.
Oh
yeah, and betting on Lamar Jackson.
There's nothing about morals on this.
I feel like the better word to be used there is you went against your own logic. I feel like that would be the better word to use in that context.
One of my morals in life is to not bet on Lamar Jackson, and I did it.
Well, I'm sure the Lamar stands are loving you right now. Total sarcasm, LOL, smiley face.
And I don't care, LOL, smiley face. But anyways, as far as besides that game that I lost on last week, I went 9-6-1 on the week last week.
So
due to Carson Wentz
what
can't
game
even beat the Cincinnati the Eagles and Bengals.
The one tie that happened, Spencer.
It was so brutal, man. I actually thought the Bengals could win that game.
I did too.
That morning.
I picked them.
I said it before the game started. I was like, the Bengals can win this game. And for them to get to overtime and just not even – dang.
I picked Cincinnati to win 34-23.
I was actually kind of disgusted that the Eagles didn't even attempt that kick at the end.
Yep.
I would agree.
Like,
And with that being said, I'm on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. Let's get Jalen Hurts in there.
go backwards, Caps, baby.
It's so ironic. Every year with the Eagles since the Super Bowl, it's either one of two things. It's either Carson Wentz is injured or everyone around him is injured. And it's like that again this year. So I don't know who's to really blame.
Part of it's on injuries. Part of it's on injuries, and the other part's on him.
I don't know, because I think Carson Wentz is a very good quarterback. And I still think Jalen Hurts is very raw in a lot of ways. So I'm not ready to jump on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon just yet.
I am, just because I'm an instigator.
That's fine.
What
Anyway,
are you shaking your head there for, Spencer?
I'm not a big Jalen Hurts fan. I mean, great attitude, like the kid. Just not a big fan of his game. So
I'm very intrigued on why you are not a fan of his game.
Yeah. But
I
you're
just don't
a
think-
fan of Lamar's game.
I'm not really a fan of Lamar's game either.
Well-
I've already said that.
Klucas, am I tripping right now, or he has said he's a Lamar fan on this show?
I am a Lamar fan, but I'm not a fan of his game.
I'm just making sure there's nobody else in the room that just said that.
Okay, hold on.
There's a distinction.
Hold on. So here's my question now. You're not a fan of Lamar's game, but you're a fan of Lamar, despite the fact that Lamar did not play for a team that you pull for. You don't like how he plays. So where does
He came from Miami.
There it is.
Okay, that's fair.
There it is.
So,
Do you like everyone
And-
in Miami?
I mean, he's put up great numbers, and I thought there was a lot of undeserved hate from a lot of people. But really, it was kind of directed at Louisville fans, to be honest. But, you know,
At this
Lamar's
point-
a great guy.
After hearing him say that, I'm thoroughly convinced that Spencer only backs Lamar Jackson up because me and you go against him. That's what I'm convinced now.
I feel like there is a percentage of that is true.
That's very true.
Hey, at least I respect it. At least he's admitting it.
No, I mean, I was always a Lamar fan even before you guys disagree with him. I just never understood the hate.
And here's something I want to clarify. And I'm saying
Was it towards Louisville fans?
Hold on. Let me clarify, and I'll explain everything. And Klucas and I have said this in person to each other, but I'm gonna put it on the show. That way, it's official. Me and Klucas actually want to like Lamar. I actually think, from what I see of him and how
He's very easy to like.
Hold on. From how he presents himself, I think he's a very good guy. You know I've never met the guy in person. How he is behind the media is a totally different ballgame. But that's the same for anybody.
No, he has a genuine character to himself.
Well, do you know him?
I've met him once.
Okay,
It just seems from everything the way he talks, just the way he jokes about life, just that kind of bravado around him.
Well, see,
Seems like a very
you have
humble
some experience
person.
with that. See, I don't.
So-
I can't make that statement because I don't. Well, anyways, but the problem becomes, and obviously it is a little unfair for me and Klucas because being that we are Louisville natives and we're surrounded by Louisville fans, we're hearing it all the time. My thing is that
It's true.
we live around a bunch of fans that just worship the ground that he walks on. And don't be wrong, he's very exciting, he's very talented, he's very athletic. But the whole thing of this premeditated GOAT conversation, and to be fair, Heat fans are doing it with Tyler Hero right now, and I think it's totally premeditated and wholly unwarranted.
They did it with Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes before he ever won a Super Bowl.
Mahomes is warning that talk, though. Lamar's not. That's the difference. And for me, it's
Oh,
nothing.
man.
I don't.
It
Again,
gets
I
thrown
don't
around
hate
way too
Lamar.
First of
much.
all, when Mahomes was thrown around, Mahomes was literally one play away from going to the Super Bowl and beating Tom Brady and the Patriots.
It doesn't matter though. Like
Yeah,
you
Lamar
can't
hasn't
be
even won a
talking
playoff
about
game.
Mahomes and the GOAT conversation. Like he has so much work to do.
And GOAT conversation wasn't
That's
necessarily
like
talking
talking
about him
about
as.
LeBron in the GOAT conversation back in 2008.
Here's
Like
the
I
thing.
don't get it.
And then, hold on. And the GOAT conversation wasn't we were saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time. It was he is the greatest talent. He is the greatest, most skilled quarterback we've ever seen. That's what the conversation was. It wasn't that he was the greatest of all time, better than Tom Brady, better than Joe Montana. It was never that. It was he's got the best arm we've ever seen, and it was he's the most skilled quarterback we've ever seen.
And the thing,
That's what it was.
And as far as GOAT conversation from my end with Mahomes, what I've always said is if, given what we've seen from Mahomes so far, if we get anything close to that for the next 10 years, now we're talking about the greatest quarterback of all time. You got to think, because if he's going at the same pace.
That is a huge – hold on. That's a huge if. Like,
yes,
never put –
it's an if statement.
huge if. Like,
Again,
I've never put Tom Brady – never put Tom Brady in the GOAT conversation until it was like the fourth one against the Seahawks. Never got included in my GOAT conversation.
Are you talking about you or me?
No, mine.
Okay.
Like Tom Brady didn't enter my GOAT conversation until Super Bowl IV.
And again, that goes back to what I'm saying about Mahomes. I'm more or less talking about how great his career has began and what could potentially be, not what is at the moment. That's where.
So basically, what you're doing, basically what the world is doing, not you guys in general, is just we throw around GOAT way too much. We don't clarify what we're talking about. Talking about greatest talent of all time. I mean, talent quarterback, I guess. But now what we're going to have for the next 10 to 15 years is the same thing that you had with LeBron and Jordan. You're going to have Mahomes fans on one side and Tom Brady fans on the other side. And it's just like, I enjoy Tom Brady and I enjoy Patrick Mahomes. But there can only be one GOAT. So, I mean.
I agree. And until Patrick Mahomes does something about it, the GOAT is going to remain Tom Brady.
So why are we making this mistake again?
We're not making the mistake.
First of all,
we're talking
we
about
are. We made the mistake.
First of all,
we made the mistake with LeBron, and we can't even appreciate LeBron. Like, I can't even appreciate LeBron fully because of his damn fans. I'm not talking about you, Klucas. We know who we're talking about.
So, yes, Spencer, to touch on your point, the word GOAT does get thrown around way too much.
It bothers me. It's one of those things in sports that bothers me.
But
I never
go back
considered
to
Lamar the GOAT. I just enjoy the fact that he had a great season. He's from Miami. He has good character, and I kind of really enjoyed him proving you guys wrong last year. So that was pretty.
But to go back to what started this whole Lamar hate thing is anybody who knows me knows that Lamar's style of quarterback is the exact style of quarterback that I love. I love the dual threat quarterback.
Absolutely hate it.
I love it. And I really wanted to like Lamar. I actually did really like Lamar. It was until a conversation that I had on Facebook, and it was from there on with the nonstop after that. That just started it, and then it just went off from there. Where I really did like Lamar, and all I heard was, and it was the Heisman year. Oh, well, the numbers Lamar Jackson has put up, we've never seen before. And I said, well, wait a minute. And I pulled up Johnny Manziel's numbers from 4 years prior to that. And literally they were identical. From the rushing, the passing touchdowns, the rushing touchdowns. They were identical. And nobody
The
seemed
rushing
to like
yards
when
the rushing yards
Yes.
were identical.
yes. From Johnny's Heisman year to Lamar's Heisman year. That's what we're talking about.
They were like right here. Like they
Yeah.
were,
And if they
Yards
and
per
if like
carry.
and if like Lamar's was like higher, it was like this much. It wasn't like that big of a gap. It was like it wasn't that big of a gap between if there was a difference in numbers.
and Johnny
So
also had a lot more but Johnny did have more passing yards than Lamar as well too.
and granted, did Johnny have Mike Evans to throw to and Lamar didn't? Yes. But at the same time, Johnny was also doing it against way tougher competition.
Exactly.
And so that's what started it. And then from there it was after the Heisman.
Did
year
Clemson
where-
win the national championship the year he won the Heisman?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Alabama.
And if I'm
okay,
and if I'm not
Alabama won the
mistaken, yeah,
national
Alabama
title
won the
year
title of the
Johnny won.
year.
I'm just saying,
Johnny beat the
guys.
national champs.
Damn, dude. I mean, that game for Lamar really kind of hurt because, obviously Texas A&M had better athletes than Louisville did, but Louisville had Clemson and guy just runs out of bounds. So, why are you looking at me like that, Les? You knew
Yeah,
Louisville was definitely
I'm
had
really confused at the point
Clemson on the ropes.
because we were talking about the competition level difference, and you said, didn't Clemson win the national title the year Lamar?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Clemson won the national title that year.
So did Alabama.
Sorry, our point is that Johnny beat the eventual national championship team in the year he won. So I'm confused on the point you're trying to
The
make.
competition level was similar.
How?
With
So
Johnny
you're
playing
telling me that
against
the
Auburn,
ACC is a bad
Alabama.
conference. Florida State went to a BCS bowl that year. He destroyed them.
Florida State fell off. Did they go to a BCS goal?
No, Florida State went to a BCS bowl that year.
And what happened?
I mean, I don't know. You went to a BCS bowl, though.
But like also, the first game of the year? I mean, obviously he puts up the big numbers against, but it's like somebody like what, East Tennessee or something like that. It was a nobody. But that's where a chunk of his numbers came.
I mean, really though.
I mean, I'm not
A
going to go
chunk
that
of his
far.
numbers. I thought a chunk of his numbers came against Florida State.
They did.
Yeah, I mean,
No, they did. I'll give it that. But what we're still trying to
And
say
he put up
Johnny
is
that
gaudy
Johnny
numbers
played
against
more
Clemson's
competitive
defense.
teams back to
You
back.
go back and look at the Clemson game. He showed up.
we're
He
not
had
saying he
great
didn't.
numbers in that game.
No one said
We're not saying he didn't. He just didn't win.
No, I mean, he didn't win. He's got an idiot for a receiver who runs out of bounds, but yeah.
Yeah, and where do you go to school?
You will.
No, before that, high school.
Oh, probably Fern Creek, I guess.
No, Trinity.
Oh, he did. Damn.
I wish he went to Fern Creek. I'm sorry, Les. Didn't James Quick beat you all 4 years?
3.
Sorry. Trinity won a national title when James Quick was there too.
That they did.
So,
Trinity team was more than.
I'm just saying, though. The
anyways,
ACC
and
gets-
anyways,
the
and then
ACC
from
gets
there,
knocked around way too much when it comes to football. They get
he played too
disrespected
good. All
way
right, if we're
too
still
much.
going to stick to this, he played Florida State. He played Clemson. Who the hell did he play after that?
It's the ACC, though.
They're not that good.
Okay. All right. When you compete for national championships, call me because the Big Ten is never there.
What did that have to do with anything we're just talking about?
The ACC is beating the SEC in national championship games.
Yes,
We
Clemson
just
has.
talked about
Florida State did
Okay.
in 2013.
We just talked about
You
3
got
different
Virginia
conferences.
Tech.
I'm so confused on what conversation we're on right now.
We just talked about 3 different conferences in the matter of 2
I'm
minutes.
tired of people disrespecting the ACC. I mean, there's no
The
It's
ACC
the
is
best-
better than what
it's
people
the
want to make
best
it out to be,
all-around
but top to
conference
bottom, the
out
SEC
of the
is
Power
more
Five.
talented. The SEC has better teams top to bottom, which all goes back to our original point that Johnny played better teams week after week after week. Yes, Lamar played against a good Florida State team. He played against a great Clemson team that won the national title. But week after week after week, Johnny was playing better teams. That's how this whole thing got started. That's all we were saying. And it got drug into this. Somehow, some way.
Somehow the Big Ten got dragged into it.
What? I mean, you might as well just
That
not
was
12 now.
God. I'm sorry, buddy. No, but the
The
ACC
Big
is
Ten's
the
not even
best
playing
all-
football
it's-
right now.
It's the best. It's the best all-around conference in the Power Five. Academics, football, basketball, baseball, bar none, the best.
If we go across the sports landscape, I'm not going to disagree with that. But, I mean, if we're going to stick to different sports, then, yeah, that is up for debate. Baseball, the SEC is very good. The Pac-12 is really good in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ACC holds its own.
Oh,
Definitely in basketball.
Basketball, I still think they are the best conference. That's just a biased opinion coming from me. But, you know.
Football, definitely a good conference.
They're definitely a lot better than the respect they're given. I will say that.
And academics.
All right. So, anyways, since we went from NFL to college, let's go back to NFL.
Yeah, we totally got thrown off. Like,
Yeah, we definitely
All
went on a rabbit hole.
Week 4, NFL. Last week I went at 9-6-1. As I said on the year, I'm 30-17-1. So week 4, Thursday night football, obviously already happened. It was more of a shootout than I ever would have thought it would have been. I did have the Broncos winning 16-9 in this game, and they ended up winning 37-28. So I'm starting the week off 1-0 on my predictions. Feeling pretty good about that. So we move into Sunday's 1 o'clock game. The Browns visit Dem Boys in Dallas.
Dallas.
I like the Browns in this matchup. That injury to Leighton Vander Esch has just completely depleted that Cowboys defense, both morally and performance-wise. I'd like for the Browns to continue their ground and pound style of play with Chubb and Hunt and have Baker play off of it. I like the Browns to pull the upset. If it's even an upset, I haven't even looked at the odds or the spread yet.
I think last I saw, I think the Cowboys were favored by 6.
Then I would like the Browns to pull the upset.
I got Dallas in this one. I got them winning by a field goal. I think the Browns and the Cowboys are very similar in terms of they can have a lot of offensive firepower, but their defenses are very, very strong question marks at times. I think if you can get a game out of Aldon Smith like you've had 2 out of the 3 weeks, then I think it can cause problems for Baker. But I still think, like I said, it's a close game. I got Cowboys 30-27 in this one. So, next game, the Saints are on the road versus Detroit. We all got Detroit coming off their win against Arizona last week. Which, by the way, you know what? You know who I do owe an apology to, and I should have never doubted him?
Who?
Jeff Okudah. We said last week, was Jeff Okudah ready for D-Hop? And we both said no. And I'm not going to lie, Jeff Okudah held his own against D-Hop last week.
D-Hop still had his numbers, though, didn't he?
If I believe I saw it right, I don't think he had the greatest numbers. I know he didn't score.
Yeah, I thought he still had like 9 catches and around 100 yards.
Last I had seen when it was like 2 minutes left in the fourth at one point, he had like 7 catches for 40.
Maybe.
So unless he had 2 big catches after that.
Which is very possible.
But in this one, who y'all got?
Spencer, you go ahead.
New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans.
Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. You know how I hate premeditated shit. That's part of the reason that I don't like There's all the talk about Lamar, blah, 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 him being the baby goat, yada, 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 all this stuff. Another reason why I don't like how the Heat fan base is dubbing Tyler Hero the baby goat, and how I don't like how Texas just gave away a big run. But anyways, back to premeditated stuff.
So negative today, Les.
I am very negative today. You know what? I am not happy. My name says it. All right. But
DeMarcus Bowman to Florida.
Florida, that's a good pickup for them. He's a very talented back. But anyways.
And that gives them 2 running backs. One they stole from Miami, and now the one they stole from Clemson.
2 former ACC running backs. Well, do we even want to consider DeMarcus Bowman an ACC back? He never even played.
No, I'm not going to consider that.
I mean, that's a conversation. I'm not going to get into that because then we'll totally get off on a tangent. But I'm back to premeditated stuff. I'm hearing a lot of articles talking about how it's time for Drew Brees to start hanging it up. This is the time where we're burying Drew Brees. Look, I have my issues with Drew Brees, but he's not done. He's still a very good quarterback in the league. And I think he goes out and sends a message this Sunday and the Saints win.
Yeah, as far as Drew Brees goes, I mean, Drew Brees, if we were looking at the numbers, actually had a better game than Aaron Rodgers last week. He ran into a very good Green Bay team. No shame in that loss. I got the Saints in this one too. When I look at the Saints, they still have a top 10 offense in the league. Detroit kind of struggles on defense here and there. Last week they picked it up. Maybe they can ride that momentum into this week. But I got the Saints in this one. I'm going Saints 30, Detroit 24. This originally was a 1 o'clock game. It now got pushed back to the 4:30 game because of the Patriots and Chiefs getting delayed till Tuesday. Colts and Bears in Chicago.
Big Dick Nick.
I got the Colts.
I got the Bears.
I like the way the Colts played. The way they're defending. I think they're starting to develop a chemistry that I thought they'd have, playing off of the defense of the front seven, getting pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, you don't want to overhype a win over the Jets with how terrible, absolutely just terrible they are. Exactly, Spencer. My words. Exactly. But I like the way the Colts defense is playing. I like the way they can run the ball. So I like the Colts over the Bears.
To the Jets real quick. In the words of Mike Greenberg, if the Jets have the number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence may want to stay at Clemson for another year.
Damn. Brutal.
Well, too bad for my son. He's already decided.
I mean, he hasn't signed an agent, so he can always take that back.
Yeah, but he is graduating after this year, which that doesn't mean anything. He can come back for another year, but I think he has already decided he is gonna. Yeah, I talked to him yesterday, and he said he's gonna go.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Anyways, Colts Bears. I got the Colts by a touchdown in this one, 20-13. This is gonna be a good defensive game. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give the edge of Phillip Rivers over Nick Foles in that thing. I think that's the decision that I'm going with, and that's the turning point. The fact that I got the better quarterback. I'm trusting my quarterback over Nick Foles, who plays very inconsistent when he's not in Philadelphia. So, but with that, Cardinals coming off their loss against Detroit last week, they are on the road against Teddy Bridgewater and the Carolina Panthers.
Who surprised a lot of people last week, actually.
Everybody knows. I think we all know what Teddy's capable of.
No, not Teddy. The Panthers winning last week is what surprised people. You and I both picked them to lose, so don't act like that.
Who did they play last week?
Christian McCaffrey still out?
Yeah, he's still out.
Yeah, he's out till week 8 at least.
That is so brutal for you, Klucas.
Who are you telling? And now I'm down Cam.
Yeah. I got to go with the Cardinals on this one. I really don't like West Coast teams coming to the East Coast, but you don't have Christian McCaffrey. You're coming off a loss. Cardinals are improved this year. Going with the Cardinals.
I think Kyler Murray has a bounce back week. Too many turnovers a week ago, so yeah, I like a bounce back week from the Klucas's MVP favorite or preseason MVP winner, I should say, for correct terms. I like a bounce back performance from him, and the Cardinals win.
Yep, I like a bounce back performance. I think this game's a little closer than what people will think. I got the Cardinals winning this one 23-16. So Jaguars and Bengals. Bengals coming off their tie last week in Philadelphia.
He said next.
You really that salty, Spencer? Come on, this could be a
game, man.
You could get a
Jaguars.
big game in fantasy out of Gardner Minshew in this one.
Probably will. And I'll probably I don't know. We'll see what my fantasy running backs have down there.
Alrighty, so we got Jags, Les.
I like the Jaguars as well. I'm hoping Joe Burrow puts up a good enough performance so that I can get some fantasy points with Derrick Henry being out this week. But I think the Jaguars can get enough pressure on Joe Burrow. I think Minshew and who's that rookie running back that's just been absolutely tearing it up for the Jaguars, or playing really well, I should say.
I think his name is Jerome Robinson.
Jerome Robinson, that's right. He's having a great season for shown to be a very good sleeper pick in the NFL draft this year. But yeah, I think the Jaguars are more complete at this point in time on both sides of the ball, and I look for Minshew to have a similar performance to what he had against the Colts in Week 1. So I got the Jags, unfortunately.
Cool. So I'm glad that we were in a disagreement. I got the Bengals getting their first win in this one. I think Joe Burrow has a good game. And it's really all I got as far as that goes. I got Bengals winning 21-20. It's going to be a close one, but I think Burrow's able to edge out the stash. Vikings on the road against Deshaun Watson in Houston.
Texans.
Both teams are 0-3, right?
Yep. I'm going with the
Correct.
Texans.
Yeah, I like Deshaun to get his first win of the year. J.J. Watt's injured, right?
Do what?
J.J. Watt's injured, right?
I believe so still.
You believe he is injured?
Yeah.
Oh, I've still got the Texans. I still think Deshaun lights up the Vikings defense, but hey.
I'm going Vikings. I think last week Kirk Cousins unlocked something that he's had for the prior 2 weeks, but finally it was able to use it last week. And that is Justin Jefferson. Jefferson had a monster day last week, and I think he realized that while Jefferson is not Stephon Diggs, but that is, your guy that you brought in to pretty much be your Stephon Diggs replacement. And I think I think he finally developed that trust last week after that huge game. And I think that helps open things up for Minnesota. And I got the Vikings winning 27-23 in this one.
Fair enough. I mean, I can't say enough for the game Justin Jefferson had last week. He's a very talented receiver. One of my favorite, pre-draft videos that heading into the NFL Combine, rather, is Justin Jefferson's just stretching up, and he filmed himself, and he put the caption after it, and it shows him, looking down his phone, and he's just smirking and laughing. And he says, the caption says, when they think you're a sub 4.5 runner. And it's and I thought that was kind of goofy as well, because I don't know how you could have watched Justin Jefferson play at LSU and think this guy was a sub 4.5 runner. I mean, don't get me wrong, 4.5 is blazing fast, but Jefferson's a burner. He ended up running, I think, 4.34, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I know he ran in the 4.3s. So very talented receiver. Glad to see, and can't wait for his former teammate, Jamar Chase, to get to the league. So
All right. Next, Seattle is making the trip to South Beach. Seattle versus Miami.
Next,
Seattle.
easily.
All right, so we are on agreement on that one. I got Seattle winning this one 27-17. Seattle's defense is very questionable. I think Fitzpatrick can put up some points, but at the end of the day, Seattle pulls away.
At the end of the day, Seattle has the MVP frontrunner.
Yep.
My
Chargers.
preseason pick to win MVP. I just want to throw that out there.
All righty. Chargers at Tampa.
Question: who's starting at quarterback this week?
Herbert.
Tampa.
I still got Tampa as well.
I would have Tampa regardless if it was Herbert or Tyrod. It doesn't
Oh, I
really
would
matter.
too. I just wanted to know. I just didn't know if Tyrod Taylor's lung is still punctured.
I'm going Tampa as well. I'm going Tampa 17, Chargers 10. This is going to be a defensive game. I think the Chargers have the defensive weapons to create some kind of create havoc. Chris Godwin's out this week. Maybe a little sluggish on the offensive side of the ball. No Leonard Fournette, no Chris Godwin, as I just said. So I got Tampa winning by a touchdown 17-10.
That's fair.
All right.
I think it's a week for Mike Evans, but and hopefully OJ Howard in that tight end unit. So, but yeah, obviously the key is going to be can the Chargers get pressure on Tom Brady? If they have the personnel to do it, just will they? Or will Tom Brady continue to do what he did for years in New England and get the ball out quick against good pass rush?
All righty.
Yeah, timing is everything for Tampa. I mean, I think they're starting to get their timing down. So
I think they're finally starting to get the trust in everybody, figuring out everything, what works best for Brady, what works best with what Bruce Arians wants to do. I think they're finally starting to figure it out. So,
sure.
Baltimore at Washington this week.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I think Lamar has a bounce back week. I got Baltimore winning 27-13.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I said I wouldn't pick them in big games.
But I couldn't. There's no way I can. There's just no way.
I didn't say I wouldn't pick them in any game. I just said in big games I would not pick.
Well, no, I know.
I would not pick them.
I just wanted to be semi-dramatic because I think any football fan in their right mind is going to pick Baltimore pregame over the team without a name.
4:05. The New York Giants are heading to LA to take on the Rams.
Next. I think it's the Rams easy. I mean, the Rams look like they're back in Super Bowl contending form, playing off the run game. I mean, obviously, maybe not after the loss. They're coming off the loss last week, but as far as like how they're playing, I mean, they're back to Super Bowl contending form. I think it's more of a staple of just how good Josh Allen and the Bills can be this year. But the Giants just have all sorts of problems. They still have absolutely no offensive line that protects Daniel Jones. So, I like the Rams. They're just a better overall team.
Spencer, do I even need to ask you?
Yeah, I'm going with what you guys went with.
He's so uninterested in this matchup, and I don't like
Next.
I got the Rams as well, 27-10. I think the Rams handle New York fairly easily.
Jesus Christ, they're so bad.
Guys, there's
anybody want Daniel Jones? Does anybody want Daniel Jones?
Hey, I think that's the thing. Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. And same with Sam Darnold, in my opinion. I think they're both good quarterbacks with just shit supporting cast. Ever since Saquon went down, now he's got nothing. It's just terrible.
Yep. I'm almost about to give him up for next to nothing.
Fair enough.
Oh, good. I'll give you Brian Hoyer for him. All righty. whether it be played on Monday or Tuesday, Patriots at Chiefs. Obviously, no Cam Newton.
Chiefs.
Easily. No Cam.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to update my score. I didn't get to update my score with Cam being out, obviously. With Cam, I had this being a 23-20 Chiefs win because I thought what the Patriots do and how they were able to they could be able to neutralize Kansas City. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. But I think with no Cam Newton, and we're going to have to watch Brian Hoyer probably play for New England, I'm going to go Chiefs 31, Patriots 13.
Is it Hoyer or Stidham?
It's going to be Hoyer.
Oh, wow.
Stidham has been the third-string quarterback. Hoyer's been the backup all year.
Wow. Anyways, I thought it was going to be a Chiefs win with Cam Newton.
I mean, I did too, but it was going to be a closer game, obviously.
Without him, man, they ain't got a chance in hell. But,
No.
I mean, I don't want to say that about the Patriots because they've shown that they can pull shit out of their ass, even no matter who's starting at quarterback. But anyways, no.
That's not Jimmy Garoppolo coming in this time.
You're right. It's more of a Matt Cassidy.
Yeah. Worse. Anyways, the red hot Buffalo Bills are on the road and they're in Spencer's hometown in Las Vegas.
I got Vegas.
Woo!
Bounce back.
I can't give the Bills all that credit, only to say that they're going to lose against Spencer's hometown. You know how I feel about Spencer. I mean, now we're playing – this is a personal game. Now they're playing against that's a team I just hyped up a little bit ago, and now they're playing against Spencer's hometown. They're going to whoop their ass. It's just how it is.
All righty. I got Bills in this one as well, 31-24. I think it is going to be a close one. But I think at the end of the day, Buffalo, because they have Josh Allen, is going to be able to pull it off, and because they have a way better defense as well.
Forget about that defense. Even with Tre'Davious White opting out from 2020 season, they still have us.
Tre'Davious White is playing, bud.
Wait, is he coming back? Did he come back?
He's been playing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Did he decide to opt back in? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
that only
all
helps.
right. Sunday night football. What could have been a good game is now on paper not looking like a good game. The Eagles on the road in San Francisco.
Next.
Yeah, I got San Francisco.
San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, start to get people back healthy, right?
I'm not sure exactly who they're getting back healthy because they're still without Raheem Mostert and Jerick McKinnon, at least at running back.
I was gonna say, I mean, they've had a pretty solid performances even in the absences. But I thought I heard on an injury report that they're starting to get a few people back. I still like San Francisco in this matchup. The Eagles, I don't know what's going on, injury bug that y'all are dealing with, but y'all better get it together soon, just for your own quarterback's sake.
Yeah, I got San Francisco too. Kind of like how I said last week, Nick Mullins plays very well against bad defenses, and that's exactly what Philadelphia has, is a bad defense. So I don't know what the hell happened there. Anyways, Nick Mullins plays good against bad defenses, so I'm going San Francisco 28, Philadelphia 14.
That's a fair score.
And then Monday night, the Falcons are on the road in Lambeau Field against the red-hot Green Bay Packers.
I got to give the Falcons credit. They're not going to blow a lead this week because they're never going to have it. Packers blow them out. Aaron Rodgers playing at a high level. Aaron Jones playing at a high level.
Were you about to call him Adam Pac-Man Jones?
I was not. I was about to say I don't know what I was about to say. I was not about to say Pac-Man, though. But anyways, Packers are the better team on both sides of the ball, playing very good football. I think they can make a run to come out of the NFC. I mean, yeah. So, like them in this matchup.
Green Bay got down by 2 touchdowns to the Lions. I could definitely see the Falcons getting up by 14 points and blowing it.
Well, just for this,
like,
Jason.
I've never they threw out a crazy stat when they lost to the Cowboys that teams in their situation, I forgot the exact situation, but 440 to 0. Really just said.
Yeah, it was teams. I believe it was teams that have 39 or more points. It was teams that have 39 or more points and over 400 yards of offense were 439.
Turnovers. They didn't have
no turnovers. Over 400 yards of offense, no turnovers, and 39 points. Were 439-0 all time. And the Falcons are now that one team that loses.
The expression on I forgot his name. The head coach for Atlanta.
Dan Quinn?
Yeah, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, the expression on Dan Quinn's face last week just said it all when they realized they were going to lose. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh, my gosh. It ruined my parlay, but got my teams in that in.
For the sake of comedy on my prediction here, I got the Packers winning 43-28. So just for the sake of comedy, Falcons are going to go up 28-0 and give up 43 unanswered points.
Oh, wow. Just fire Dan Quinn on the spot when that happens.
I'll tell you, man, I'm taking that money line at that point.
Oh, my Lord.
Or no, I'm not taking the money line. I'll take the spread on that if that ever happens, though.
The fact that Dan Quinn hasn't been fired yet.
I was crossing my fingers last night that maybe Miami could jump out to an 8-0 lead and we take the spread.
Going back to the Falcons, my boss who's a Georgia fan, he's also a Falcons fan. He let me know after last week. He said, I will not be supporting, cheering, rooting, or anything Atlanta Falcons wise until Dan Quinn is gone and until Matt Ryan is gone.
See, I don't get the blame on Ryan. But I don't get the knock on Ryan, but I do get it on Dan Quinn. I do get it on when Kyle Shanahan when he was there.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan made Matt Ryan the MVP that he was.
But then also got conservative in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but did Kyle Shanahan get conservative or did Dan Quinn tell him to go conservative?
That's fair. But then we saw another example of that now that he's the head coach of the 49ers. So it's definitely up in the air.
It's a question we'll never know. So that's the NFL Week 4. That ends it for that. So,
Spencer, is there
great show, guys.
I'll say, is there anything intriguing you want to Matt? Did you want to talk about? You look so drained, and I just want to see a lively Spencer before we end the show. Yeah, I feel like it would make me feel a lot better about myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap and watch some good football tonight.
Oh, I understand.
A nap is what I need.
Let's go Lakers. Let's go Lakers.
I thought he was a Cleveland fan for some reason.
He kind of seems to follow, and about 8 years ago, he was a Heat fan. So, I mean, he seems to follow this guy named LeBron James. I don't really
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't really know why, but yeah. Seems to follow him around. Oh.
Go Hornets, go Heat.
Go Heat, yes, sir. But anyways, before we leave, one thing that's kind of making me mad is how we're already predetermining that the Lakers are going to win. They still don't have to win 2 more games. So I woke up on SportsCenter and woke up on saw on SportsCenter.
Shut up, Les. Shut up. Just shut up.
Why?
Are you serious right now? They're sweeping the series. Get over it.
You know what? No. If there's a will, there is a way. You know what?
You know what? There was one thing that Skip Bayless did say that I actually found pretty hilarious this week. They had Chris Broussard on Thursday, I believe, or maybe it was yesterday, and they said, you know, do you want to change your predictions on how you did? And Skip Bayless like, you know, I predicted an LA sweep from the beginning. He said, but I do want to change my prediction. I think this series ends in 2 games because I think after LA blows them out again, Miami just be ready to pack it up and go home.
And like I said before, it's unfortunate. I expected a good series, but it is what it is. Injuries are a part of the game.
I think y'all are going to be surprised. But anyways, where I was going with this, from what I saw on SportsCenter, and I was already kind of getting irritated to see it, they're already talking about who's going to win Finals MVP. So based on what we've seen so far, should it be LeBron or AD who wins Finals MVP?
Oh, my God. You did this on purpose.
I did.
Oh, God.
I want to hear it.
I'm waiting on Spencer to say
Hold
some
on. I'll read
outlandish.
the stats. I'll read what they're averaging right now. So far in the series, LeBron is averaging 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Anthony Davis is averaging 33 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Those are your numbers.
What about steals and blocks and stuff?
LeBron is averaging 2 steals a game versus AD's 1 steal. They're both averaging 1 block a game. AD is shooting a higher field goal percentage. And a dropped pass by Steve Smith. Wow.
Probably a better free throw percentage too. So.
Oh, yeah. Definitely better free throw percentage on Anthony Davis' part, too. So.
I don't know, man. Pretty close. Yeah, I'm going with AD. He's their number 1 option, so. Is he praying? Did he fall asleep?
I think he's praying to LeBron James.
That's what
I'm pointing to LeBron because that's who's going to win Finals.
You know who should be MVP, damn it?
Who?
Here we go.
Kobe Bryant.
Okay, I mean, I can't argue that.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P. Kobe.
LeBron James, 100%.
LeBron jerseys
gonna win
are
Finals
undefeated in
MVP.
the playoffs.
100% LeBron James Finals MVP.
100%? Why?
Putting up the better all-around numbers. And kind of like how we've been arguing with Spencer for so long that this team, yeah, he keeps wanting to go back to the fact that LeBron said at the beginning of the year that this team goes through Anthony Davis and yada, yada, yada. We all know this team runs through LeBron. From start to finish, it starts with LeBron. So, LeBron is
starts with any point guard, actually. But
it's going to LeBron. He's what's making this Lakers team go. Take LeBron away, this team is barely a playoff team. If they are.
Yeah, if they're only playing with 4 guys on the floor.
Oh my God.
The littleness.
I actually hate this guy. LeBron, Finals MVP. That's.
You know, I wouldn't mind to see, and I'm usually not a fan of it. I wouldn't mind seeing a co-MVP. I mean, they're both playing really dominant. Spencer's not having it.
Participation trophy generation.
I didn't say it. He did.
I'm just saying, it's not even a participation trophy if they both deserved it. That's the whole point of participation trophies, is not deserving it. You get it just for being, hey, you went out there, you tried, you get a trophy. No, they didn't go out there and try.
A participation trophy is what J.R. Smith's about to get for winning another NBA title.
Exactly. That is a participation trophy. Oh, and
that bonus too.
Oh, and Deion Waiters, too. Can't throw him out of there, either.
Yeah, Deion Waiters is winning regardless, so.
Exactly.
How about our guy sitting there watching the game last night, and I was like, man, Howard's actually going to get a championship trophy, championship ring.
Yeah.
Good
So
on
here's
Dwight
the
Howard.
question: Does that championship solidify him as a Hall of Famer?
I thought he was a Hall of Famer before that, so yeah.
Yeah.
I know people have gone back and forth on whether Dwight Howard deserves to be a Hall of Famer. So the championship solidifies him as a Hall of Famer for sure.
I don't even know if that was really. Did he start for the Lakers this year?
He's starting now.
He's starting now, yeah. I mean, whether he started or not, he's still having a good impact on him. He's playing impact.
Actually, you know what? Let's backtrack. Here's the real question: does a second NBA title and everything that he's got going, is Rondo a Hall of Famer?
Rondo was a Hall of Famer before this, yeah.
I don't know. I'd actually have to look at the numbers, but it seems like Rondo is a Hall of Famer to me.
I'm
not familiar.
To call Maury now, Klucas?
Huh?
Are you wanting to call Maury now, Klucas? Wasn't it Maury this week who we've had on the show that Rondo will be a Hall of Famer if the Lakers win the title? He doesn't believe that Rondo is currently a Hall of Famer or something like that.
Yeah, and I for once I actually kind of agreed with him for a little bit. I didn't think Rondo had done enough necessarily to solidify. Okay, I'm not saying that he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but to say that he's 100% a Hall of Famer with no debate was what I was like, okay, no, because there's definitely a debate for him not to be a Hall of Famer.
Some of his regular season numbers are a bit pedestrian at times, but I think for me, it's how he plays in the playoffs. I think it's and the fact that he's had so many great series. I think that's and the fact that he's pretty consistent.
I think there was a question mark on him being a Hall of Famer prior to this. I think a second title definitely solidifies it. So, outside of that, I don't have anything else to ramble on. Outside of Kentucky better win here at 4 o'clock.
Go 2006 Heat, going a four-game run.
Did we just have another big play just called back? Oh my gosh, this Texas team is gonna increase the rate of my receding hairline. But anyways. Yes, Klucas.
Continue. No, I was saying anyways, like the.
No, I was just gonna say anyways. As always, tell us what you liked, didn't like on the show. Comment in the section below. Until next time, it's Les Abbott.
Jacob Klucas.
Matt Spencer. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys too. We out.